midst of a raging war, a plane evacuating a group of schoolboys from Britain is shot down over a deserted tropical island. Two of the boys, Ralph and Piggy, discover a conch shell on the beach, and Piggy realizes it could be used as a horn to summon the other boys. Once assembled, the boys set about electing a leader and devising a way to be rescued. They choose Ralph as their leader, and Ralph appoints another boy, Jack, to be in charge of the boys who will hunt food for the entire group. Ralph, Jack, and another boy, Simon, set off on an expedition to explore the island. When they return, Ralph declares that they must light a signal fire to attract the attention of passing ships. The boys succeed in lighting some dead wood by focusing sunlight through the lenses of Piggy's glasses. However, the boys pay more attention to playing than to monitoring the fire, and the flames quickly engulf the forest. A large piece of dead wood burns out of control, and one of the youngest boys in the group disappears, possibly having burned to death. At first, the boys enjoy their life without grown-ups and spend much of their time splashing in the water and playing games. Ralph, however, complains that they should be maintaining the signal fire and building huts for shelter. The hunters fail in their attempt to catch a wild pig, but their leader, Jack, becomes increasingly preoccupied with the act of hunting. When a ship passes by on the horizon one day, Ralph and Piggy notice to their horror that the signal fire, which had been the hunters' responsibility to maintain, has burned out. Furious, Ralph blames Jack, but the hunters has just returned with his first kill, and all the hunters seem gripped with a strange frenzy, reenacting the chase in a kind of wild dance. Piggy criticizes Jack, who hits Piggy across the face. Ralph blows the conch and calls an assembly intended to restore order. At the meeting, it quickly becomes clear that some of the boys have started to become afraid. The littlest boy, known as the Little Uns, have been troubled by nightmares from the beginning, and more boys now believe that there is some sort of beast or monster lurking on the island. The older boys try to convince the others at the meeting to think rationally, asking where such a monster could possibly hide during the daytime. One of the little ones should suggest that it hides in the sea, a proposition that terrifies the entire group.
Not long after the meeting, some military planes engage in a battle high above the island. The boys asleep below do not notice the flashing lights and explosions in the clouds. A parachuter drifts to earth on the signal fire mountain, dead. Sam and Eric, the twins responsible for watching the fire at night, are asleep and do not notice the parachuter landing. When the twins wake up, they see the enormous silhouette of his parachute and hear the strange flapping noises it makes. Thinking the island's beast is at hand, they rush back to the camp in terror and report that the beast has...
The boys organize a hunting expedition to search for the monster. Jack and Ralph, who are increasingly at odds, travel up the mountain. They see the silhouette of the parachute from the distance and think that it looks like a huge deformed ape. The group holds a meeting at which Jack and Ralph tell the older boys of the sighting. Jack says that Ralph is a coward and that he should be removed from the office, but the other boys refuse to vote Ralph out of power. Jack angrily rushes down the beach, calling all the hunters to join him. Ralph rallies the remaining boys to build a new signal fire, this time on the beach rather than on the mountain. They obey, but before they have finished the task, most of them have slipped away to join Jack.
The following morning, Ralph and Piggy discuss what they have done. Jack's hunters attack them and their few followers and steal Piggy's glasses in the process. Ralph's group travels to Jack's stronghold and attempt to make Jack see reason, but Jack orders Sam and Eric tied up and fights with Ralph. In the battle, one boy, Roger, rolls a boulder down the mountain, killing Piggy and shattering the conch shell. Ralph bravely manages to escape a group of spears.
Ralph hides for the rest of the night and the following day while the others hunt him like an animal. Jack has the other boys ignite the forest in order to smoke Ralph out of his hiding place. Ralph stays in the forest where he discovers and destroys the pig's head, but eventually he is forced out onto the beach where he knows the other boys will soon arrive to kill him. Ralph collapses in exhaustion, but when he looks up, he sees a British naval officer standing over him.
The officer's ship notices the fire raging in the jungle. The other boys reach the beach and stop in their tracks at the sight of the officer, amazed at the spectacle of the group of bloodthirsty savage children. The officer asks Ralph to explain. Ralph is overwhelmed by the knowledge that he is safe, but thinking about what has happened to him on this island, he begins to weep. The other boys begin to sob as well.
The officer turns back so that the boys may regain their composure. The end.